It's a very wet day in Bath today. Hopefully it dries up though. It's supposed to be raining all day today, so I don't think it's going to be dry by tomorrow, but hopefully from Wednesday onwards it should be nice and dry. Nice and cold too. I have, in theory, 2 deliveries being made today. One is my coat, which I know I'm not going to be in for. I'm going to try and leave it with a neighbour, if I can. And the second one is my longboard, which is supposed to be arriving today, but it hasn't left London yet. Unless it's like, it's not registered that it's left their depot and it'll just say like arrived in Bristol, now in thing. Like, I don't know. Can't see how they're going to get it from the other side of London to here in one day. I'm assuming there's going to be more than just my longboard on this truck, whatever it is that's coming. And yet they're going to get it here, then get a car round to me, and then, oh god, I don't know. So chances are I'm not going to get it today, but that's fine because in theory I won't be able to use it tomorrow. I might be able to use it tomorrow evening. I won't be able to use it tomorrow daytime. So I can wait. Until then, I'm putting up with the bad traffic. I left so I could get to work a little bit early, but that hasn't been the case. The traffic is just bad today. It's rained. It's always bad when it rains, but particularly with the Christmas market on, coming home especially is going to be an absolute bitch, because the way that I normally come home, the road's closed, so everyone's going to be going down one road. I'm not looking forward to it at all. That's why I'm like really wanted to longboard. But otherwise, I was up at 2 this morning. I was working on work stuff. I have the front end is now all finished. It just won't post back. I can't figure out why. It's going to be something really dumb and stupid, but I've been like staring at it for so long that I can't see it anymore. Everything else for that story is ready to rock and roll, so hopefully deployed by lunchtime. The other thing I need to do is pick out a plug which I can charge my longboard in. There's one just there, 1 there and 2 there. It hasn't been delivered yet. I might be able to beat it home. It's going to get delivered like fucking as I get home. Like, I'll see it driving off. You know what I mean? If it doesn't rain again, it might be dry enough tomorrow. In a really weird way back because I'm avoiding all the Christmas market because it's going to be friggin' rammed down there. If I successfully get it today, the question is, am I confident enough to longboard in tomorrow without having practiced on it first? Coat also arrived today, but I've missed that one. I've just got to reschedule that delivery because the pickup locations are crap. I'm going to see if Laura can pick it up from town for me, because that would do me a solid. We're definitely waiting till at least Wednesday for my coat. But like I say, hopefully my longboard, I can get it today. And it's all going to depend on how bad the traffic is driving home. Because this week in particular, the traffic is going to be so bad because a road's closed and the market's on. So if I can avoid it, I will. However, if it's like not too bad, I might err on the side of caution and drive in and then longboard in the next day. But how boring is that? Come on. Either way, I'll probably end up having a quick practice tonight after shopping, because how could I not? I'm going to be too excited, clearly. This little shopping centre here, I don't know what it's called, around Christmas is always gorgeous to look at. I always like walking through it. I'm walking through it to get to the bus, but it's just so pretty. And I don't know what it is about it. Like, this place just screams Bath. Not only are there a load of weird shops that no one will want to shop in, it's also pretty. Okay, I'm here, I'm at Ups. The delivery came while I was driving home. I did manage to go a sneaky way back, so I did actually manage to dodge all the traffic, which is good. So it does mean that I won't, like, die if I can't go on my longboard tomorrow, but I'm gonna really fucking try. I mean, I'm obviously I'm going to try, like, have to have a go with it tonight. So maybe, if I'm confident enough on it tonight, I'll go tomorrow. If not, I'll have to wait till Wednesday. So, as I was driving back, I got the email saying that they failed to deliver it because I wasn't home. They said, I stopped, pulled over to the side of the car, rung them, had to go through their horrendous autophone system, sat in the car for like 10 minutes, and they were like, okay, you can pick it up from the depot, it'll be at the depot at 6:15, and I'm like, I'll friggin' be there, it's 5 past, I've just seen 2 Ups trucks, go around the corner there, and I'm just gonna have a wander in and see. I'm so fucking pumped, man. It doesn't fit in the boot. There she blows, heavy as fuck. It's like 15 kilograms and it's not easy to carry. Flip me. I thought there might be some, oh my god. Look at that, that's so beautiful. It's, oh, don't go into the light. I can't help it. It's so beautiful. Oh my god. Does it just lift out? Almost. Oh, there's a lot of shit down there. It's got that new car smell, boys. With a fucking free hat. Look at that. And then there she is. There's obviously the beast that everyone's bothered about. Oh, Lewis, mate. Lewis. Oh, that feels beautiful. Oh, it's so grippy. Oh my god. Oh, got a cool t-shirt too, although very presumptuous. I'm not a large. Side note as well, this has to be the world's least comfortable hat. What is that all about? Look me, right, okay. So, what else is here? I have the street conversion kit, which is very blurry. These are the all-terrain tyres, which are designed for off-road / gravel. These things are, well, they're not technically fully off-road, by the way. They're not like mountain climbing, but grass, all that shit. These are the street wheels, which are 76As, the stone ground variety. God, they're huge. Like, to compare size with my old ones are massive. They're friggin' insanely big. The bigger they are, the easier they are to smoother, faster, all that kind of good stuff, which is good. Also, what I've discovered is, because of these huge wheels, it's really difficult to stand it up. It's a problem I haven't considered, because obviously that is standing up on its nose, but its wheels are surpassing its nose here, and then here the only thing that surpasses the wheels is the motors, and I don't really want to put the motors on the ground. Also, look at that blade. Yeah, these things are the gear train and the drive train for these wheels. This has its own, it needs a different gearing system because it's a bigger wheel, it needs more drive. This is the belt feed that's going to drive it. Where's the fucking remote, mate? I'm looking for the information because I want to, like, if it says I need to charge it, I want to charge it and all that stuff. In here we have some tools, the instructions, which I'm actually going to read, which is good. Well, that feels like much better quality than my current one. The charger and the remote. Yeah, before using it you must fully charge the battery, which is what I'd expected. Awesome. It's now charging. I'm like a big kid here. I've just like littered everything at the beginning of the room. This is the remote. It comes in a nice little case. A little wrist strap there, and the remote, which is that. There's the trigger. I believe that's forward. That's brake. And there's the buttons. That's nice. It's not very heavy. I thought that'd feel heavier. These tools here, I'm just charging it now, so it's a bit boring. These tools here are like standard longboard tools. I've already got this, although it feels obviously much better. I mean, it better feel much better for the price of the fucking board. And then these things are to adjust the motors if you need to change the wheels, because the belt tension needs to be widened. I'm trying to figure out where to put all this stuff. I've read / watched a million videos about this since I bought it. I've read that these trucks here are really loose, and if you want to go fast, they get like wobbly because they're more designed for like steering when you first get it, so you might want to tighten it. So when I first try it out, that's going to be the first thing I check. This is the quality control check. The manual, got a shitload of stickers. I might have to put some of them on my laptop, I don't know. I see people who have loads of stickers on their laptop and it looks really cool, but I think in order for it to look cool, you have to have a lot of them. And then I'm not the kind of person who'll be able to arrange them in an aesthetically pleasing kind of way. Like, the OCD will kill me. I'll have to make it all square and then it just won't look very good. You know what I mean? Like, half the appeal is that it looks like a mess. And that's not my aesthetic, you know? The fact that it doesn't stand up well on these wheels is actually a semi-decent issue. Because it means I've got to lie it down everywhere. Or get some kind of mount that holds it up. And the problem with the mount is that it won't thingy. It can't be with me everywhere, but also I can't put it up here anywhere decent, you know. So yeah, at the moment, just kind of let the slide down here because I'm just going to start cooking dinner. We've got to go shopping tonight, but by the time I come back from shopping, that'll be charged. I'm going out. I'm going out on it. It's dry enough. The path is definitely dry enough. So I'm going to have a go out on it. It doesn't rain between here and then, which I don't think it's going to. Right, cool. Otherwise, try and get my coat Wednesday. Oh man. Otherwise, I think it's a little bit, this is all I can do, alright? It's a little bit shorter than my old board, like at least the wood is, but like in total length it's not. Obviously it's not as low, but that's not as high as I panicked. Like, I was half expecting that to be really high. And I bet it feels high when you're on it compared. Because like, the thing with this style of like the drop down trucks is that the centre of gravity is really low, which is obviously less true for this. Charge! The inability to stand it up without it rolling away is a serious issue. I have to find a way of like propping it up. I know I've changed my top, but I haven't actually changed my jeans, which is why you can hear my belt buckling. I've skipped my evening nap. I'm fueling myself on adrenaline. Do you know when you feel like so excited that you almost feel sick? That's it now. I feel ill. I don't feel hungry. I feel ill because I just want to go out on it. But yeah, you know I've got to really struggle on it tonight not to try it tomorrow. If I can comfortably get to like 15 miles an hour which is a tall ask to be fair, and like can successfully stop and all that kind of stuff. This is my default mode of transport tomorrow. Okay, quickie review. It's like I'm holding a bike light in my hand, which is why I can't vlog at the same time. This is hard. Like, it is fucking rockets when it's in fast mode. There is a mode that's a fucking hell. Left-handed on the slow thing. I've got a little light on my back, look as well, if you can see that. So in slow mode, it can do about 6 miles an hour, which feels slow, it's got to be said. In eco mode, it does about 10 miles an hour at the moment, which is like more than, oh my god, it's 10 o'clock, I need to head back. Which is like not quite fast enough. I was hoping eco mode would go a bit quicker than that. So then you got to put it in a fast mode. There's faster than GT, I've not dared put it in GT yet. Fast mode and GT both have the same top speed, but they accelerate at different paces. The, yeah look, so it's slow, like it doesn't want to go. That's full fat down now, 8 miles an hour. Did have to tighten it. Probably tighten it a little bit more as well. Question is, do we do it tomorrow? That's the real question now. And I need to get back because it's late. Also, the regenerative braking is legitimately no joke. That thing generates battery like no man's business. It went 86%. I got down to about 72 and it went all the way up to 90, just slowly braking. Reading things about cold weather affecting the range and stuff. So that could explain why the battery like drains so much in fast mode. But yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about swapping out and just going for it. It depends on what, if I can leave early, I want to be able to leave early so I'm not like rushing. If I can leave early in the morning, which I don't need to have a shave tomorrow, so I can in theory leave early. But if I can leave early, then I'll go for it, I think. Because then it doesn't matter if I have to go longer. But obviously I'm going to be a bit more weighed down than I normally would be. To my work laptop and stuff. Oh yes, it is good fun, it is good fun. I got it down as well, I was able to like go up a couple of hills on the way back, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've been reading cold weather also affects it, and obviously I didn't actually fully charge it either, which is naughty. And me thinking, try it tomorrow. I'm probably not going to be faster than the car, but I almost definitely, it will be good fun. Is it cold? Is Google plugged in? No, she's not. Because the thing is, depends on the weather, depends on what time I can be ready for, what time I can leave by. What do you think? Eco mode. The best thing about eco mode is you can just hold the trigger down and you don't have to worry about twitching because your hands are cold. I left with enough time to cruise at 10 miles an hour and still get there in time, but I'm going to be testing out like fast mode and stuff and seeing just how much range you can get in quick. I've heard that like cold temperatures can reduce the amount of battery you have, and it's very cold today, so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to slow down a bit here because I've got to dodge some puddles and a cyclist. So even this hammer all the way down about 12 miles an hour up a slight gradient in eco. That's good. 3 miles in, and this is the furthest I've ever come on a longboard. I'm in eco mode. I've used 15% of my battery and I'm about to go downhill, so I should be able to charge that back up to 100% at the bottom of this hill. You ready? It's not quite true, about 90. Holy shit, it flicks up dirt way more than I thought it would. It's these mushy leaves, man, they're the worst. They just like hide little, well, I don't know, it just, something's flicking up at me and I can't see what it is. This is what it's all about though, boys. Look at that countryside, get that nice clean air in your lungs. To the end of the path now. Results so far, maybe not when it's this cold. It affects the battery. It's getting pretty close whether I'm going to make it or not, but I will make it. It's just, I've got like, today of all days, my friggin' camera battery is low. You know what? This is stupid. This is not doing. I've hit civilization, but it's going to get dark again. I've got to go in eco the entire way. It's taken me so long because I just can't fucking see. And saying that, despite that, I'm coming up to the big hill. My logic that I should have waited till like the spring to buy it is pretty sound logic. I seem to remember last time we were on that path at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the summer, in the daytime, it was pretty bright. There is zero lights. You have to hit Bristol. You have to, like, when you're in Bristol, wherever I normally am, when I'm not commuting to Bath, the path is like a dream. It's just like rubber and just, there's the odd like tree root or whatever like that. There might be like a little bit where like the mud comes in at the sides, but you just dodge it. All of that stuff is great. there's lights, you can see where you're going, everyone's happy. The second you leave Bristol, the second you get on that path in Bath, nah, it's pitch black. Cyclists have like full on, like full beam things. Like I say, I'm getting some lights for it for Christmas, but I'm not sure they're going to be bright enough, because you literally need a car's full beam. It's the wrong time of the year to do that. It was really nice on the way in, but on the way out, when it's pitch black, it wasn't enjoyable at all. Like, I couldn't pick up speed because I couldn't see far enough to know it was safe to do so. Brings me to the battery. I got back on a charge, but I had to be really careful. Like I said, I was in eco mode for the vast majority of it, and I went to fast like a couple of times, but on the way back it's mostly uphill. On the way in it's mostly downhill, and I still like just about made it. I was like getting to the point where it was sub 10% battery. And then on the way back I was at sub 10% battery basically from that hill onwards. On that hill I hit 0. I'm really confused by the percentage battery meter on the remote, because it's a percentage, but it isn't the percent of the battery you've got left. Here, as you ride your skateboard, the percentage value will slowly drop as you ride. If you ride up hills, accelerate heavily, and ride over grass, you should expect the percentage to drop quickly during these periods. Flat ground riding, blah blah blah, is the most efficient way to try to maximise keeping the percentage value from dropping too quickly. Percentage value will be higher without a rider standing on the board, and will reduce once the rider begins to use the skateboard. This feature helps you understand how varied conditions affect the battery usage. Right. So is it a range then? Like, it would make sense to me if the percentage thing was like an estimated range, like in a car. Because, do you remember me saying yesterday that like the regenerative braking is like no joke? You can get from like, you can gain 20% battery in like no time, but then as soon as you start to pull the throttle again, it just drops back down again. It's almost like a rolling average. So you'd be like, in a car, if you're trying to get your miles to the gallon, you're trying to watch the live feed, you go down a hill, you let go of the accelerator, you're like, oh, this is great, I'm getting massive miles to the gallon. And then as soon as you hit the bottom, put your foot down a little bit, it drops again. But it's like that, but it's a battery. But I don't think that makes sense. I think you should either have a percentage, and then the percentage drops, and it shouldn't go up unless you've actively charged it. Because like, you can push it along the floor for a little bit. I pushed it a couple of times where it was like nice and flat or whatever. Pushed it a couple of times, and then the battery, it charges. So like, obviously it will charge because a motor is basically a dynamo. So it's charging when it's not running. So every time the motor spins without, the wheel spins without the motor driving it, it's gaining charge. But I pushed it for like 3 pushes, and the battery went from 20% to 50%. And as soon as I started to drive again, it dropped back down to basically 20%. Now you should either be an accurate percentage of this is the amount of battery you have, and then as you charge it, it like zaps or whatever, it goes up and down, etc. But it only goes up and down an accurate amount to show how much battery is left in the battery, or it's a range. And I think if it's an estimated range, then you have reason to go up and down that wildly. So that's the one thing I'd be like, I don't get it, because it makes it really difficult to figure out. Like, I'm coming up to the hill, the big hill thing, got to the top of it, almost in one piece, but I'll tell you about that. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go up the hill, I've got like 20% battery, is that gonna be enough to get me back? Do I need to like basically walk up the hill? Am I gonna have enough juice? I don't really know. Is it an estimated range? Like, if I push for a little bit, it goes up to 35. It's just a bit confusing. I feel like that if I could change anything, that's what I'd change so far. The thing as well, not only is it dark, but as soon as you leave Bristol, basically like all the slush where the leaves have fallen on the floor, it's just like mud. It's just like caped mud. And the amount of like, well, it's not so bad on the way back, because to be fair, I buttoned up my coat, but my coat's filthy instead. I'll be on this one, won't it? No? More blimey. I cleaned the board when I got back, and my shoes look like this, and I've literally pulled caped mud off them. And then wait, word for it, it's like literal just sludge, just like on the bottom of the board. Now, like obviously the board's alright with that. The only thing you have to really be careful of particular, apart from like submerging the battery into water or something stupid. The only thing you really have to be careful of is watching the belts. So I've like tried to clean it as much as possible. I'll clean the belts and things when I take the wheels off at the weekend. I'm going to have a go with the other wheel. So I'll do that. But otherwise, yeah, you've got to be careful of the belts, but basically it's just so that shit doesn't like drive in it and get it clogged up or whatever. Careful of the bearings, because if the bearings dry up, then they like start to lock, and then they won't roll as much as we did with this. So I covered them up because otherwise the bearings would get covered in dust and then grind to a halt. The only real things you have to worry about, but obviously it's flicking you with shit. So yeah, that's a no-go. Basically, the time of the year is just trash. It's too dark, it's too wet all of the time because it's not warm enough to dry it up. In summer, it would be brilliant. Oh no, and the third thing, it's fucking freezing. So my hands are burning. They're burning. They're like, I've slowly warmed them up. So they're back now, but I'm literally freezing. On the way down, it was alright because I could put the board into eco mode where I could just hold the throttle down with my left hand because I don't need as much control because I can just hold it down. Slam it into eco mode and then just warm my other hand up in my pocket and then swap. But on the way back, I've got to have my friggin' light out so I can see. Then both my hands will feel like they're going to drop off. Obviously I can wear gloves for that, it's not necessarily a huge problem. But what it is a problem is I've read, when I was reading about all of this stuff, is that batteries don't perform as well in the cold, so they work much better in the summer than they do in the winter. And that's because basically the battery tries to keep itself warm. It's got to be able to deliver the amount of amps needed to drive the motors efficiently, then they have to like pump out more electricity, so it takes more electricity to get the same amount of power out of it, so it takes longer. And therefore that's why I had like range problems basically. I bet you in summer, if I tried it with those wheels, it wouldn't be a problem. And I bet you in summer, when I can stop using these wheels and use the street wheels, I'll get there and back on one charge. I have no doubt about that at all. These wheels are very grippy, like really grippy, and therefore it doesn't roll. You have to be on quite a steep hill for it to roll on its own steam, and then I guess the motor also throttles it a little bit because of the belts basically. That isn't true for the street wheels, it's only true for the thingy wheels, but I'll find that out at the weekend when I have a go. On the way back, well no, everyone at work as well thought it was well fucking cool. Like literally basically everyone in IT came and had a look at it. So that was cool. I managed to charge it at work and whatnot, but on the way back I did injure myself. I fell off the board, but I injured myself not because I hit the floor. So I was going up this hill, I was going up the big hill that I was talking about, and what the board does, when it gets below 5% and you stop accelerating, it will drop down into like slow mode, and slow mode won't get you up hills. So slow and eco struggle to go up hills, whereas fast and GT are the hill climbing modes. Now I haven't been in GT mode before because it terrifies me. Fast terrifies me. So anyway, I go up the hill in fast and I accidentally like let go of the accelerator. It dropped below 5% because it's this bullshit range percentage, not battery percentage. So drop below 5%, the board drops into basic mode, and then to change up gear, which makes sense, you have to let go of the accelerator and then press a button. Another criticism is that that button isn't very sensitive, so sometimes you can press it and it doesn't always jump up a gear for whatever reason. I'm assuming it's doing some like calculations to figure out whether it's safe or not. But then there's no way of doing it, so I'm then trying to get it into fast mode, go one past fast mode into GT mode, press the accelerator, and the board went so fucking fast. It just went, and literally like this leg, what I've done is I've like strained my muscle in my right leg because the board just went like scooted, or like it was almost like this leg caught up with that leg before that leg didn't know what the fuck was going on. It just went like that. It was mad. Like I went then over the board. So when you like, if you ever run out of control of a longboard, don't like jump off sideways or anything like that. You go forward because you want to carry your momentum. I went forward. The longboard stopped because I shit myself and let go of the accelerator. And I looked down at the remote and I'm like, fuck me, no wonder I nearly died. But yeah, that GT mode is terrifying. I've never seen anyone use this board on like YouTube or whatever. everyone always says that they like accelerate in fast and then change to GT when they're at like high speed, because it just like jolts. You have to be really good to be able to use GT mode, I think. It's obviously on the AT wheels. I'm not sure, maybe it's better on the street wheels because they're a little bit more like grippy. Oh, well, not grippy, but they're more lower to the ground. It's less lower center of gravity and all that shit. But anyway, so yeah, that was when I nearly injured myself. I was literally like, fuck me. And it's, I can tell it's going to strain. Like tomorrow, it's going to burn me a bit. But I'm not going to be longboarding for the rest of the week. I'm going to charge it up, but I might use it to go pick up some stuff. So like run it around Bristol in the evening, which will be fine as long as I'm like on street lit areas that aren't overrun with leaves. It's great. And as long as it's daytime, basically, or it's street lit. So they're the criteria. So I'm going to give it a miss until the weekend, unless I need to go out and pick up some stuff tomorrow. Basically, it took me like an hour and a half to get home as well, because of having to run in eco mode and conserve the battery up the hill and shit. But anyway, so it was way slower. And on the way in, it took me an hour and 8, which is about as long as it takes to cycle. There's that. Like I say, I'm pretty confident that in warmer weather, it would be fine. The way I read that kind of stuff is people who have electric bikes say that they, in winter, when it's cold, they kind of put like hand warmers on the batteries to keep them warm, to like get rid of that problem. It's obviously difficult to do in the longboard because it's near the floor. Yeah. What I'm going to do then? Yeah, I'm going to leave the longboard in for a bit. I'm going to chill out. I had my experiment today. It was a good experiment. I enjoyed it, thoroughly enjoyed it. On the way in was bliss, but on the way back isn't realistic at all. And longboarding one way and then training back doesn't make sense. Like, it's not financially. It doesn't, like, I'm not saving any money. It's cheaper for me to drive in both ways, and probably quicker too. And like again, the sludge makes it inconvenient because I have to wear different shoes or change my trousers and all that kind of stuff. So, commuting wise, we're going to wait until it's sunnier, until the hours are right. Until then, it's going to be like for other things. So, like, I'm going to go down to get my hair cut at the weekend. Probably going to take the longboard to do that. And then, like, there might be times where Laura wants to go out for a run. I'll take the longboard out just for a tear around, basically. I think at the weekend we're planning on going out for like a little cycle because I want to try the street wheels. So Laura's going to come out with me on a bike, and I'll get the street wheels, and we'll just go about wherever it's lit. In general, total review, it's absolute hoot. It's so much fun, and I love it. Just coming back at this time of night was stupid. Like, I was stupid. My mistake. But like I say, like, you need to learn these things. I did my experiment, got my results. I need to put my trousers in the wash because they're filthy. Otherwise I don't know what to do with myself. It's 7:15 and Laura's not back yet because she's like got some urgent stuff to do at work. So, oh, yeah, there's that. Right, I've got to pick up a delivery because I've dropped off a delivery downstairs. Over the past 3 days I've had deliveries from all four different types of delivery you can have. I've had Yodel, who have dropped a package downstairs with a different neighbour, which I don't like that neighbour. But anyway, them. There's then DPD, who were quite a pain in the arse actually because I couldn't pick up the delivery on the same day. They tried to deliver it here, and the pickup locations are just crap. So that's one of the things I need to pick up tomorrow. And UPS, which delivered my longboard, the other one's my coat, by the way, so I understand why they didn't leave it with a neighbour, because it is expensive. Or UPS, which delivered my longboard, which I hate their website, but being able to go, oh, they tried to deliver it at 5:30, but I can pick it up from the depot at 6:15, dope. That is a brilliant, I enjoyed that thoroughly. It meant that I could use my longboard last night and today, so I'm happy about that. I also have a thing that's been delivered to a store I need to pick up at lunchtime in Bath. So yeah, I've got to go, lunchtime, got to pick something up, and then in the evening I've got to go to Halfords. Hey Google, when does Halfords close tomorrow?
Halfords at Eastgate Retail Centre. Eastgate Road closes tomorrow at 8 PM.
8 PM, god damn, so I might not be able to have a nap before I go there. Just me for dinner tomorrow as well. So, but yeah, it depends whether Laura wants to come. I don't think she's around, because I think I am having dinner tomorrow on my own. So yeah, it depends what she's doing, but I'll probably take the longboard down. just because why the fuck not? I'm going to end this rant. This is going to be another short video. Just 2 days long, boy. To cant things from my... Also, my backpack. Today, I don't know whether it was the office chair. I was in a meeting today for about 2 hours, and I was in like a broken chair where the chair was like a bit back. And then in that meeting I realised my back was aching. It was either because of that chair or because of longboarding with my backpack on. And just being in like an uncomfortable position I'm not used to being in. One of the two. Either way, it also tweaked my back a tiny little bit. So, but otherwise, like I say, fucking dope. So much fun. Just, it's not an ideal time of year, which is half the reason why I didn't want to buy it before Christmas, but I can't sniff it saving £100. Part of the reason I didn't want to buy it before Christmas was because I knew that the weather conditions wouldn't be optimal or even like half reasonable to use it most of the time, so it would essentially just kind of sit there and I'd only use it for fun at the weekends or to snooker and things like that. So yeah, like the use cases are lower this time of the year than they would be any other time of the year. I need a wee. I don't need a wee, I need a drink. Kind of similar. Don't know how I got them confused. I think I'm calling it bedtime. I've got a headache and I know what it's from, all the friggin' lights from all the cyclists coming my way. Like having to concentrate in the dark, it's giving me a friggin' headache, man. Otherwise, I got back, had some dinner, watched the news, watched some YouTube videos, heading to bed. I've now missed 2 naps in a row, so it almost inevitably means I'm not going to end up waking up at 2. But I'm going to try. I'll try and be productive as well when I do wake up at 2. But if past records stand, missing 2 naps in a row is never a good try, and I feel very tired, whether or not this is thingy or not. So, ladies and gentlemen, I friggin' love this longboard. It'll be like the... I'm so glad I bought it. It's a shame I can't use it for a while, but I'll try and use it as much as I can. Having semi-significant battery problems, aren't I? This is a new battery. But yeah, glad I bought it. Catch you later.